Why, hello, all squids and inklings. We are here back with Splatoon Tourney with some more exciting action as we have the Whip Rays versus Almond Nuts on topic, joined by Jordan. Jordan, how you feeling today?
I'm doing great. I am excited to see this set here between the Whip Rays and Almond Nuts. The Whip Rays coming into this with an 0-2 record. They lost both of their first 2 weeks, and Almond Nuts went 1-1. Up on the rosters for the Whip Rays, there are Sofa, Cuber, Rhythm, Eonfish, and Nate. Almond Nuts, just a 4-player roster with Tenor, Komodo, Mystic, and Jay. The Whip Rays, they are a very familiar name in competitive Splatoon. They have been around for a long time, almost as long as any team that's existed. They've been around since the Splatoon 1 days. The newest addition to their roster, Nate, this is his first Ludi season with the team. So it is interesting to see how they're working with Nate on their roster.
Yeah, always new members. It's great to see, getting some new blood out there, getting some new talents, some new fresh ideas. That's great. Let's see how they're gonna implement them into their first Ludi season. As we start here with Clam Blitz on Scorch Gorge. Very underrated. I like it a lot. I play Bucket, so I kind of have that little bias towards it. But anyways, as we get into it, we do see a Tent and a Hydra. Very, very interesting weapons we don't see all the time.
Yeah, that Tent Umbrella combined with the Squeezer and Pencil, that's a comp that we have been seeing run by some high-level teams in particular, and so it'll be curious to see if Almond Nuts are able to take full advantage of it. Now, 2 going down on the side of Almond Nuts here. Tenor there going down, taken out by Eon on the Tri-Slosher Nouveau. The Whip Rays are pushing further in, getting stalled only a little bit by those Tri-Strikes. Eon getting another pick here on Mystic, but before being taken out by Jay on the Pencil.
Yeah, Pencil, a very, very strong option. And I think a really interesting matchup we're gonna have to watch this entire game, maybe set even, is Hydra Pencil. Because Hydra, while it is very, very strong, it does kind of get shut down by Pencil, though it is kind of a 50-50 matchup depending on who sees each other first. But as we see here, Whip Rays are gonna be punished for using those strikes a little bit too early, as they do go 3 down, leaving just the Hydra. So now they have a chance, or Almond has a chance to get a push going. Looks like they're gonna have enough clams to try to get a ball. They have one on the flank here. The Hydra goes down. The Blaster trying to stay alive. It is going to work for a little bit longer. We have 3 of them all in one spot, and there we go. Almond gets the first points of the game, getting down to 71 with more clams on the way.
Yeah, this is a very strong position here for Almond Nuts, being able to push back the Whip Rays into their own base. The Whip Rays only getting a trade here. Rhythm getting set up on that snipe area, not able to take out the Tent Umbrella though. And Almond Nuts still do have the entire area around and under that basket secured. They're getting more clams, and even though Eon came out there with the flank, Mystic able to take them out pretty quickly, hold on to some clams. Even though they didn't continue the push any longer, they still have 11 clams, 12 clams in their possession and control of mid still at 39 points remaining on their score.
And that was an excellent first push by Almond Nuts, because a general rule of rank clam bliss is that you want to get your first push under 60, since that means it takes 2 power clams for the opponent to get the lead. But as you see there, the Tent playing a little bit of bully ball, just forcing someone in the corner and off the map. And right now, Whip Rays are trying to recoup some of their losses here, as they do have a special ad ready. All 4 members are up. They are going to try to push into mid a little bit and try to get a crucial pick.
Yeah, they have that Booyah Bomb, and now I believe the splashdown. Oh, but the Custom Blaster does go down there. Here we see Mystic getting a 7th, getting an 8th clam. They are ready to continue their push. They are making a power clam. We see the Booyah Bomb coming out from Rhythm, but not fast enough for they get the power clam, and Mystic pulling out those Tri-Strikes, and now Almond Nuts have that penalty all the way down, and they're scoring more points to go down on the side of Almond Nuts, but they're still scoring clams, even though the Whip Rays are there to take out the players who push. Picking up that power clam is a good move, especially since another one is going to come down when the score starts ticking down, but they're going to need to actually score those if the Whip Rays want a chance to win this game.
Whip Rays are playing really good defense. They're just not translating that into offense, because right now this Hydra, everyone on their team is stuck in mid. They do have popped their Kraken, however they're not able to get any picks, and it's just the Pencil. The pressure of Pencil is so strong that it's kind of forcing Whip Rays back. And we do see a Booyah Bomb trying to display some. It does work for just a second. The Hydra shoots there and gets one. This is their chance for Whip Rays to push a little bit forward. The Blaster is in position to get a little forward. They're not going to be able to pick. The Hydra with the cover fire. It's going to work. But unfortunately, the Strikes and the Zuka are out to try to do some defense. It is going to work, and that's 2 down for the Whip Rays again.
Yeah, getting that Pencil taken out was necessary for the Whip Rays, but it wasn't sufficient, because as you could see, that Tent playing defense, using that Zuka to get the Hydra Splatling out of position. Tenor there, putting together that push, using that Tent shield to make the space for their teammates, and now with only a couple clams left, they only need 1 more to take the knockout, and there it goes, 100-0 win. Almond Nuts take the first game of this set.
Yeah, very, very clean game from Almond Nuts. As you saw, just the pick of Pencil kind of not neutralized the Hydra, but made it so much harder for Whip Rays to move anywhere. Since any time that they tried to get to mid, that they tried to get on their plat, even though they did have a Kraken try to force their way in, the rest of the Pencil's teammates were able to just neutralize it, just giving the Pencil a lot of space to work with.
Yeah, indeed. So with Almond Nuts taking that first game, it'll be interesting to see how they continue. However, that's interesting. It said on the map mode list here that the first game should have been Mako Zones. I'm not sure if that, but what we saw here was definitely Scorched Clams, so I'm not sure exactly what they are going to play for the next map mode.
I'm sure it was just some technical problems. Maps didn't get uploaded correctly, so I'm pretty sure they'll get it fixed in the next couple
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah, all right. Just checking now. It looks like what you see on the screen, on the bottom of the screen there, that does appear to be the week 2 maps, and this is a week 3 set. So the next game will be Tower Control on Sturgeon's Shipyard. Let's hope that the stream team can get that changed as soon as they can. But in the meantime, we'll have game 2 on Tower Control on Sturgeon Shipyard. This one is less open, less favorable for long range weapons like that pencil, and indeed like the Hydra Splatling. So that could throw a wrench into the plans of either team. Although, we might see the Whip Rays changing out the players on their rosters, whereas some teams with a bigger roster might spend, they might have a specific set of 4 players that they want to use for a whole tournament. One thing that the Whip Rays have as part of their team's philosophy is giving all of their players as much playtime as possible. So if they have their whole 6-player roster available for tonight, you'll definitely see them switching them out. But here we see them loading in the same 4 players on the side of Almond Nuts coming in, and we do still have those same 4 on the side of the Whip Rays, with Rhythm still sticking to the Hydra Splatling and Jay still on the pencil.
Yeah, very, very little changes from both sides. I do believe the Tri-Slosher was not there on the first game, if I recall correctly. But on Sturgeon especially, the tent is really strong. So it just takes those alleyways under the snipe super easily. And as I say that, the tent is doing exactly what it needs to do, getting 2 down already, and Almond Nuts is trying to set up for a really quick first checkpoint here.
Yeah. Using that special, that Tacticooler, those Tri-Strikes, and I believe even the Zuka from the tent coming out, although we can't see it here. The 10 attack, the Order Shot does get, or not the Order Shot, the Octo Shot does get taken down on the side of the Whip Rays. The Almond Nuts using that Kraken and going for picks, but the tent gets taken out instead, and 2 go down on the side of Almond Nuts. So the Whip Rays do stop the tower at 32 remaining, and Almond Nuts are not able to make it a full knockout on their first push.
Yeah, they're not able to make it a full knockout, but getting to 32 and just getting towards that second checkpoint in the first minute is a really strong position, because now, while you don't want to play complete defense, you want to play like a little aggressive defense, as in you want to put the pressure on while not giving up too many resources. As we see here, Whip Rays is starting to respond, as the Tri-Slosher does get 1, does get 2, going for the triple, it does get the triple, and unfortunately the pencil, being pencil, will get him off of snipe, but that just kind of, that triple allows for Whip Rays to get through that first checkpoint, as we see right here.
Yeah, we saw Cuber with the Kraken trying to make a play there on the side, but Tenor, you putting on a survival masterclass with that 10, showing how good of a tanking weapon that really is, and that allows Almond Nuts to stop that push 10 points before the Whip Rays were able to match their score, and 11 points before they could take the lead. Now, we see Komodo here trying to fight in mid, getting a little bit of help from their teammates, from Tenor here on the side. We see a cooler coming out, we hear a cooler coming out, and now the Trizuka, the Almond Nuts are putting more pressure on, and a double
nice
from that Trizuka coming around to the side. I'm sure the Whip Rays were not expecting that.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting the tent from the side playing. It is gonna work for them, and here we go. The tent, exactly where it's gonna be, gets a 1-shot on the Tri-Slosher, is able to get out to safety, and now with their shield at the ready, they're able to block a lot of shots from that Hydra, kind of neutralizing that, allowing their team to get through the second checkpoint as they do. Zuka's at the ready, Pencil's there, unfortunately a Booyah Bomb on towers when they get to, the tent is still alive, the shot is still alive, strikes on tower, it's not gonna work, and that might be the end, and unfortunately with a DC there, but that is going to be the end of the push for Almond Nuts.
Oh, that disconnect has got to hurt for the Whip Rays. Without that Octo Shot, they are down a lot of paint. That was the main source of paint in their comp, so they are going to be struggling for it a lot more. I can easily see Almond Nuts really keeping that numbers advantage up and just rolling to a knockout here if they so choose, which I'm sure they'll be going for. But there goes Komodo getting that easy pick on Cuber, trying to look for other players who might have gone a little bit far forward. Eon is still alive on that Tri-Slosher, might be hiding somewhere. No, exposing where they are, showing their location by firing a few sloshes, getting that pressure put onto them as they try to go for that flank. Getting taken out though, and the tower is still moving. The permanent numbers advantage here for Almond Nuts doing a lot of work.
Yeah, this is what happens with DCs. The numbers advantage is just too much. Nice direct there, and that's gonna be the end with the momentum from the tower of the range blaster. Yeah, like you said, the numbers advantage is just too much to overcome most times in a 3v4, since the enemy team is just able to be a lot of places a lot quicker than you are, especially without their auto shot, their main painter. It just does not allow for them to kind of move separately the way they want to. It kind of forces them to play more clustered together, which the range blaster can take advantage of.
Yeah. Here we see some plays from Mystic, the 10 attack on the side of Almond Nuts, getting those bombs and that paint out. But this is the stop that the Whip Rays got right before the Octo shot. Nate disconnected. The Whip Rays did manage to stop the tower at 5 remaining. Even though those tri-strikes Almond Nuts used to try and to use them as a smoke screen to keep the Whip Race away from the tower, but going down on it stalls the game just a little bit longer.
Yeah, that unfortunate stalling there. Or no, fortunate stalling there. Unfortunate DC for the Whip Rays. Let's see if they're able to bounce back in our third game, as we're gonna go to one of my favorites personally. I might be biased, but I know I am. I'm biased. Is Undertow Rainmaker.
All right, yes, and we have confirmation that these are indeed the map modes for Week 3. We are going to see Rainmaker on Undertow Spillway up next, and this is the Undertow Spillway that is new and improved as of, I believe, last season, with the biggest change being the paintability of that path from the further to the side checkpoint, the left checkpoint from the attacker's point of view, from there to the goal, that is now wider and completely paintable. It'll still not be too wide for a tent umbrella to completely block the whole thing though, which is going to be good news for Almond Nuts. That'll be something that they will surely use to their advantage.
Yeah, like you said, the little I would say like a cove area right next to the checkpoint. Just having that allows for a lot more paint than one expects, especially if you're able to set up give me a special, like tri-strikes there, like a Zuka there, because like if you just think about it, that's a really good Zuka spot, since you're covered, you have ways to escape in that little corridor. That just allows for a much safer push, a much safer way to aggress. Now for defense, it does help because it gives you more options to move, though I do think that if you're playing defense, you don't want to be there for a long time, just because it kind of is attacker favorite since of where it's positioned.
That indeed. I see the squeezer though coming out on the side, going back to the squeezer. We saw that switch off of it in game 2 to the custom range blaster, but now Komodo on the squeezer here, they are both teams going for that pop at first. The Whip Rays are the ones who get it, but it doesn't get any picks. The Altman that's playing a safe distance away. That tent coming out on the left side, but now on the Whip Rays left side, Cuber here looking for those picks. One going down, two going down on the side of Almond Nuts. This 3-on-2 advantage might be enough for the Whip Rays to make a push happen.
Yeah, and the big change here from the last game is that they went with the custom range blaster, the small one, or the custom blaster instead of the custom range blaster. So that splashdown does give a nice little area to defend yourself with. As we do see the Whip Rays try to push out, it's not going to work. It's only get to 97, and with the Rainmaker in a really awkward position for them, this just allows Almond to kind of stall there for a little bit and get some paint and map. And there we go with the pick on the Hydra, pick on 2. This is the chance for them to really get something going here.
Yeah, and even though Tenor has switched to the vanilla tent umbrella from the Sorella tent, there is still a Trizuka on the side of Almond Nuts because of that squeezer. And speaking of the vanilla tent, that Inkback is coming out to try to protect from the fire, but it's not enough to protect from the triple splashdown. And even though Rhythm gets taken out, it is enough to take out the Rainmaker, albeit temporarily, as Almond Nuts immediately pick it up once again and get that first checkpoint. And immediately still go pick it up again and start making their way closer to the second checkpoint, or not even the second checkpoint, to the goal.
Yeah, but unfortunately, the Hydra just being parched up there like a little bird, it's going to be able to get a pick or two off there. They do have a cooler at the rate. They decide to pop it a little bit early, but unfortunately, it looks like it isn't going to work out in their favor as the tent, as Almond Nuts, matter of fact, is still playing aggressive. They're not letting go of mid. Even though they were forced to retreat, they still have mid mostly in their color. This kind of forces Whip Rays to play their game, to walk into uncharted territory here, as we do see Tenor on the back trying to protect their teammates. It's gonna work. That's one down. It's the Hydra on this right side, two on the left here. The Cooler's at the ready. Everyone's here on this left side here trying to get a pick here, but the splashdown is able to do a little bit of destruction. Unfortunately, they're only able to get the tent there, but with Cooler, that doesn't really mean a lot for them, as right now, Jay is just trying to stay alive. It's gonna work. The Booyah Bomb is out, trying to stall them. It's gonna work here. The Hydra is there. Jay by himself, staying alive for as long as possible, stalling, still here, just dancing with his opponent. It's gonna work, and unfortunately, he's gonna go down, but that wastes a lot of time and allows Almond Nuts team to respawn.
Yeah, it does. And now we see the Tri-Strikes coming out from Nate on the Whip Rays, picking up that Tacticooler. And oh, Nate does go down right into the fire of Komodo's Squeezer. Komodo still looking to put on the pressure. The Whip Rays want that reset, but the Almond Nuts won't really mind either, as they control that territory. Komodo walking into that area that Nate controlled here. Nate trying to take up more space, getting that paint out, getting the area around the Rainmaker, and now the Whip Rays, they have the Rainmaker once again, but they'll be delayed by those Tri-Strikes to go down on the side of the Whip Rays, and that push is going to be stalled out right here under that tunnel.
Yeah, under that tunnel, but now with about 90 seconds left, the Whip Rays have barely moved Rainmaker, only moving it to 97, and now Almond Nuts, they can just try to hold for as long as possible, because Whip Rays still have to break through that checkpoint. It looks like they're going to try to start a little bit here with the strikes coming out, try to give them a little bit more space. It's going to work. There's the Booyah Bomb out for Whip Rays. Looks like the Cooler's coming out as well, trying to get a pick here. They do get one, trying to go for another. The Blaster is up in their face. It's not going to work. But the Nasuka from out of nowhere, Komodo with the saving play for their teammates going to work. And with less than a minute left, they can try to stall the Rainmaker for as long as possible.
Yeah, that is a nightmare scenario for the Whip Rays here. They are getting completely wiped out here. Only 40 seconds left, 45 seconds left on the clock. Jay getting another pick with the Rainmaker, taking out Huber before going down. But the Tenor is still right there in that tent, not going down so quickly, but eventually getting taken out. The Whip Rays, they have the numbers advantage over Almond Nuts, but they're going to need a lot more than that to make any sort of push past mid. They're going to need to figure out something new that they haven't figured out yet in this game.
Yeah, and like we talked about the last couple games, the pencil on Almond Nuts is just holding down so much space from Snipe. You can hit mid a lot. As we do see the Whip Rays trying to combat it, it's gonna work like one for everybody else. The 10 just staying alive, trying to stall for as long as possible. The Booyah Bomb is out. The 10 gets a one-shot kill. The Whip Rays has it. Unfortunately, they're by themselves, trying to stay alive here, trying to get away from that 10. The Azuka's at the ready, and unfortunately, to a splat bomb thrown by the tent user, or by the Tri-Strikes user, that's gonna be it, and Almond Nuts takes a 3-0 lead in a very commanding Game 3.
Yeah, Almond Nuts, they held the line extremely well there. They were not letting the Whip Rays put really anything on them. That 97 remaining, we saw that for, I believe, the entire rest of the game. Here we see that push that Almond Nuts made to take the checkpoint. I believe this I'm not sure if this came before or after. No, yeah, this was before that clinical play from Tenor on the Inkvac that we saw. But here we see Almond Nuts picking up the Rainmaker, making the push that they made to 47, which was the highest score that they made. The Whip Rays did successfully get that stop. I believe it looks like it was Rhythm on the Hydra getting those picks, just using that Hydra, just taking free reign, just to take out all of the players on Almond Nuts that were set up there. But now Almond Nuts with the 3-0 lead, looking into Game 4 as we finish our tour of the 4 Anarchy modes in Splat Zones on Umami Runes.
You know what they say, defense wins championships, and like right there, defense won the game for them. And as we move on to Umami Ruins, it's very, I would say it's very similar in a way to Undertow, in the fact that while yes, there's like only really one way to go, or one like really common way, you do have to watch out for a side flank, and in this case, it's the right side flank or right side way out. No, left side way out, because just being able to get out there and get attention attracted to you is super big here, especially since this is a 2-zone map, meaning as long as you keep your opponents focused on one side, being able to sneak the other side for free is kind of the play here.
Yeah, that's right. And it'll just be really it'll be a new challenge for the Whip Rays, although not really a new challenge. It'll be the same challenge as ever. It's very likely that Almond Nuts is going to bring out that Pencil and Tent yet again. They've had that for every game so far. Pencil, Tent, Pentatech Splatter Shot, and a mid-range blaster or squeezer, something like that. And that is a very well-rounded, very secure comp that we see at top level a lot, and Almond Nuts are really showing off how it doesn't have really that many weaknesses that the Whip Rays can exploit here.
Yeah, we do see both teams sticking to what they know, sticking to their guns, as I do think that this will work for them. Let's say if anything will change, as we do see a 1-for-2 trade in favor of Almond Nuts. 1-for-3. It looks like already the Tent is trying to get set up on this Hydra. It's going to work for a little bit, as we do see Tenor switch back to the I believe, yeah, the Sorella Tent for the Zuka is going to really help them. The strikes are going to come out for Whip Rays to back them off. It is going to work for a little bit. However, it looks like Almond Nuts is going to sit on their silo for a little bit longer. The Tent with the Zuka is here. Unfortunately, do get flanked, as we do see Almond Nuts is still trying to find their way in. It's going to work. And right now, Whip Rays, they got to do something. They're all Almond Nuts is down to 46 on their first push, and they're still going.
Yeah, with that Sorella Tent as well as the Squeezer still, Almond Nuts have the double Zuka comp. With the 2 Zukas and the Pencil, this is a comp that is banned in several tournaments. And so we're seeing here why it is so strong. And now the Whip Rays are able to get their first points. They stop that first push from Almond Nuts at 40 remaining, and now they get down to 84 remaining. The zone is neutralized, that left zone closer to the Almond Nuts side, but the Whip Rays are able to take it back. Huber here putting the pressure on. Nate goes down, but Huber still in the base of Almond Nuts. Another going down on the side of Almond Nuts. Tenor still alive with that Zuka, with the cooler power up and able to come back very quickly. The Zuka still ready to go. Nate here underneath getting the pick on Komodo, and the Whip Rays, they might get this lead here actually. They might get that timer down. One goes down, Rhythm to that Zuka, and the Whip Rays have indeed taken the lead, I believe for the first time in this whole set, unless they did take it early on tower control. Oh no, of course not. Yeah, this is the first time this whole set that the Whip Rays have the lead in a game.
Yeah, looks like they do have the lead, but it looks like Almond Nuts is going to try to respond here. The tent does go down. Looks like 2 people are trying to get, or it looks like the blaster is trying to push up. It's not going to work, and the Whip Rays are still scoring down to 25. What a great job. Although from the beginning of their push, it wasn't very stable, they seem to stabilize it over time as they're able to get down to 14. The shot does go down, and Almond Nuts almost in an instant take zone here, and they have a chance here to kind of lock out the Whip Rays for as long as possible. It's like that's a good start start to it, as that's 3 down. Only the Hydra, but they do use the Booyah Bomb to see their teammates. Not gonna work. They do stay alive here, and now here we are back to where we were at the beginning of the game. They come full circle. The 10 is up in the enemy spawn, or up in Almanac spawn. Unfortunately, goes down to a bomb. The Kraken does manage to find one, giving the Whip Rays a chance to push in here.
Oh, that incredible intuition from that Kraken, from Cuber here. Oh,
nice double!
Blaster going for the quad here. Do they get it? Does Cuber get the quad? Gets an assist on it, and the Whip Ray quad gets them the zone back. They still have 14 remaining, but the Almond Nuts are still at 40, and so the Whip Rays, they have control back. They have Rhythm's Hydra set back up on top mid. Another pick for Rhythm here, and the Hydra using that power of the long range, the power of the Hydra to control that. Even as a few teammates go down, the Whip Rays still are in a strong position. Here comes the Booyah Bomb, trying to keep the Almond Nuts away from taking control. Eon getting the pick from the side here. The Whip Rays are almost about to take back control of the zones. However, Eon is the only one left alive, and so they might need to back out in order to survive and give the Whip Rays another chance, lest Almond Nuts make their own comeback in this game.
Yeah, it's like Whip Rays wanted to stop Almond Nuts from making a comeback, as Whip Rays, or as Almond Nuts is trying to slowly chew through their checkpoint. They're not in quite a good position as they were earlier, all the way up at the enemy spawn. I think they've learned not to go that far, since they did get punished really hard, as Whip Rays are trying to push in with the Fizzies, trying to paint zones. Not gonna work as they go 2 down. Kraken's out. Looks like they're trying to get a kill. Not able to. The pencil gets a pick here without 40 seconds left. Almond Nuts are all the way through their penalty, all the way down to 32 without any contention from the Whip Rays. Looks like this might be the lead here, as we see the Hydra trying to paint over zone. It's not quite gonna work, as they are forced to charge back here. It's the Blaster and this Tri-Slosher trying to paint zone. It's not gonna work over those strikes. The 10's there. The one's on top mid. The Blaster does lose that 1v1. They're trying to contest the zone. It's not gonna work. Only the Hydra. Unfortunately, the Hydra gets the kill a second too late, and Almond Nuts makes a comeback and will take a 4-0 series or 4-0 set lead.
That has got to hurt for the Whip Rays. They had a shot there. They had a chance. They were in a very strong position, especially with that delayed wipe that they got on Almond Nuts, but it wasn't over. The Almond Nuts, they held on. They used their specials perfectly, and it's painful almost to watch here as the Whip Rays, they're getting their specials, but they're so eager to use them. They're using them one at a time. They're not able to move move Almond Nuts back, and they're not able to really capitalize on the specials, on the space they get from the specials. And Almond Nuts coming back with the tri-strikes of their own, completely nullifying any advantage that the Whip Rays could have gotten from that Booyah Bomb. And here we see Mystic just cleanly coming through, sweeping up all the rest of the Whip Rays as the rest of Almond Nuts takes control of the zone and turns that into a knockout.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt for the Whip Rays being right there, but not being able to hold on for as long as they wanted to. As you know, that's gotta hurt the mental. And a very underrated aspect of any competition is the mental game, since mental game is like a majority of what happens, like how your mindset going into it. And after losing such a close set, I would not be surprised if they do feel like they need a bounce back win. And I feel like this is the perfect chance to get that bounce back win on our potential final game, our final map mode, Museum Clams.
Yeah, it could be the final one if Almond Nuts turn this into a sweep, but it is not over until it is over. We have seen the reverse sweep happen before. In fact, it happened 2 seasons ago to the Whip Rays themselves, so maybe they will channel that and turn it around here. It seems like they'll have to make an incredible change somehow, some way. They'll have to figure out exactly how to make Almond Nuts tick, and exactly how to get under their skin and to get around what they have been doing so strong. And so here we see a potential sweep here coming out from Almond Nuts, unless the Whip Rays can figure out how to stop them.
Yeah, but unfortunately for Whip Rays, this map is very lockout. It's very hard to push onto the plat, especially with that pencil on almond rays and the tent or almond nuts. It's very hard to push onto their plateau. We just have to find out how they're able to work around that. As we do see again, no changes from either team, as they seem very comfortable with what they decide to run here.
Yeah, there was Eon going for that early flank, but 3 going down on the whip rays. That did not work out so well. Almond Nuts here trying to put together the clams for that early push. Lots of chip damage coming out from the whip rays. They do prevent a very early score, but Eon going down again by that tent. And so the Almond Nuts are able to take that space, but they don't hold on to it as the whip rays come back swinging and bring the fight back to mid.
Yeah, it looks like Whip Rays, they did get punched a little bit early in the mouth here, as they are able to neutralize it just for a little bit. Unfortunately, Almond Nuts' Almond Nuts' playstyle, I should say, is very aggressive, even though they do have the pencil that does play a little bit more defensively. Just them being able to push up with that 10, with that safety, knowing they have someone watching their backs is very helpful. As you do see, the Tenor has spent most of the game on the Whip Rays plat. They have not been able to move him because they have that pressure from the pencil, because they have someone there with that long range to just deny any sorts of attempts to try to play some defense here.
Yeah, the Whip Rays juggling that power clam around, but it's not going to do them much over there. Almond Nuts still have the numbers advantage. They have 17 clams at their disposal, including a power clam. Pencil, Jay, jumping in, doesn't get the clam in, gets taken out before they can. And even though 3 go down on the side of the Whip Rays, it's 2 down on Almond Nuts, but the Tri-Strikes come out, and Komodo does pick up that power clam and score it. In addition, another power clam coming out. I think that might have been Mystic with it. And now Komodo up on top on the Whip Rays snipe there, getting that Zuka out, going down. But Mystic coming in with another power clam, and Almond Nuts already past 50 points scored, already past down under 50 remaining. Rhythm here trying to clean up. Tenor with the tent umbrella, and they have finished that first push. Almond Nuts aren't scoring any more past 34, but now they are still in mid. They didn't get wiped out for it. Oh, that Trizuka already coming out and getting Cuber, preventing them from making a play.
Yeah, it looks like it took a little bit, but the dam is breaking, as we do see Almond Nuts is still playing very aggressive. Whip Rays are trying their best to respond with the use of these strikes to try to get them out. It is going to work for a little bit. As you do see Nate and Cuber in mid trying to go for this fight here. Unfortunately, they're forced to back off because of this tent, because of this pencil. They're not able to get their footing established here. We do see Eon on this trying to get a play here. It's not going to work, as he is forced back to play defense here as the tent. And everyone on Almond Nuts is still there. They have spent, I want to say, at least 90% or 80% of this game on Whip Rays' plat. They're just executing their game plan to what they want to do here. They want to disorient their opponent as much as possible. And as we see right there, Tenor just scores another power clam, and they have enough clams to break through their penalty here. As we do see the Hydra trying to break it. It's not going to work. The strikes out for cover. It's going to work. That's 2 down. But even then, Almond Nuts still is in a very strong position, and they're still going. Komodo gets it down to 9. Just 3 more power clams. Unfortunately, that is going to be it for that push. And now Whip Rays have their backs against the wall. They haven't been able to get onto the enemy's plat at all. They've been stuck in mid. They've been stonewalled for this entire game by this pencil, by this tent, by this squeezer. They're not able to reduce here. Kraken here that's gonna try to do something. Unfortunately, they aren't gonna get a pick and get picked off right away. And just like that, in like a flip of a switch, the Almond Nuts got 3 down, and they are back on Whip Rays' plat, just taking it over. As we see, it might as well be theirs at this point, as it's already painted orange.
Yeah, they have 2 power clams made, and that is enough to end the game right away. If they can score one of the power clams, one more power clam, that is it. That is the game, and that is the set. A sweep for Almond Nuts, taking this 5-0. They move up to 2-1 in their group, and the Whip Rays down, unfortunately for them, to 3 losses.
Yeah, that is an unfortunate scenario there, but that entire game, I want to say Almond Nuts spent at least, and this is at least, 70% on Whip Race's plat. Just their comp, it was very defensive in mind without having any defensive weapons. And what I mean by that is they have that pencil for long range. They have the tent to play just to soak up a lot of damage. They have the wall from the squeezer. They have the strikes as sort of like a smoke bomb, as you see right there. Unfortunately, it does not work as they do go down. But just being able to have 4 weapons that work that well together to just overwhelm the enemy, and it just worked to their advantage so well, and they're able to take advantage of it.
Yeah, indeed. And that, all in all, this was a very strong showing here for Almond Nuts. They showed really how a comp like the one that they were using with that pencil and that 10, it's very strong, and if one piece goes down, the rest is still able to defend very well. They really clearly put in the work to make it work, and I just think the Whip Rays weren't ready for it.
Yeah, because that comp, I've seen it a couple times before, but they just played it so well. They played really well around the tent, because a lot of teams don't really face a lot of tent players, so they don't know how to play against it. So just being able to playing against a tent that knows what they're doing, that knows how to play around their team, especially with just the Zuka, with the just tent being a tent, just doing what it does. It's such a unique weapon that it just allows for so much creativity and just so much like defensive play.
Indeed, yeah, very good games here to both of these teams. Though they played well, that was just a very good showing from Almond Nuts here to take the set. And so it'll be interesting to see how they fare. Yeah, they're Almond Nuts. Their second. They've already had their looking into the standings for their group. There is an undefeated team in their group, and Almond Nuts has already played that team. So if they win week 4 and 5, then they will go 4-1 and be in very good position to make the playoffs still. But now hearing that, oh, hang on. We might have had a chance to do a live look in for the main Splatoon Tourney channel, but if you haven't been paying attention there, that channel has had back-to-back Game 9s tonight, and those matches have gone on, and we haven't even gotten to the match scheduled for 9 o'clock. So if you are looking for more action tonight, there is still one more match to go on the main Splatoon Tourney channel. So don't tune out just yet, though. We'll be closing out here momentarily.
Yeah, I watched the first Game 9 set. That was very exciting. It was just like very back and forth. It was just fun. I love, anyone who likes sports, I should say, whether you like online, like esports, or like basketball, baseball, hockey, everyone loves a winner go home game. And I'm sure, even though we didn't get to watch it here, it was very, very exciting.
Yeah, definitely make sure to check out that replay if you weren't watching both streams at the same time. But before we go, let's promo ourselves out. You can go ahead first. Topic. Where can the folks find you?
You can find me over on Twitter. I'm Toxic Though. You'll probably hear me ramble about how Dreadbringer is really, really good, and you should use it more often. And that's about it. I commentate other stuff too, so yeah, it's pretty fun. Jordan, what about you?
Yeah, I am Squidoku _ on Twitter. I am also on the Fediverse at Squidoku on Splatsville.social. And here on Twitch, I am Jordan Pie as on Discord. And I don't really stream, but I'll be in the chat I'll be in the chat, and you'll find me commentating here, other matches on Ludi tonight, as well as for Dapple Productions. But for now, I believe we are going to be heading out with a raid to the main Splatoon Tourney channel. So you'll want to tune in there for a Division 4 set. I don't recall off the top of my head which teams that will be. If I quickly check, that
It'll
will
be
be
Memento Mori versus Nano Transon, if I believe I pronounced that
all
right.
right. There you go. Memento Mori versus Nanotracin. And with that, we will see you off. And also, big thanks to our streamer, our coordinator for this stream, Dynamite Central.
Yes, thank you very much. And with that, I hope everyone will enjoy this final set and drink water.